This is the current state of Pokemon. You've got the biggest franchise in the world releasing games that are either unfinished or uninspired, except you, Legends Arceus, or a TCG that is undeniably in its golden age. Selling your soul isn't enough to get your hands on a pack. Why? Because of middle-aged, self-proclaimed businessmen who tell everyone in their adult lives that they were the biggest and coolest weed dealer in their high school years, but realistically only sold to a few of their buddies and smoked the rest themselves. Or because of the boogie 2988s, the unemployed dudes spending credit like they're out here trying to compete with the US in building debt. The games. Most of the Switch Pokemon games are straight up
Dog water, 0 earns, 0 PR, you have no earnings, no wager earnings, you're free, you're literally so free, freer than a free sample at Costco, you're dog water, literally so dog.
It hurts for me to say that. I am a huge Pokemon fan. I've been playing Pokemon games since 2005. I started with a copy of Pokemon Yellow that I received from my neighbors, and I've played every single game since. And like I said, as much as it hurts me to admit, the games are trash now. Yet you have people with the sentiment out here who say that those fans, such as myself, complain too much. Are you kidding me? What is wrong with wanting the best out of a game when they have the financial means to create it? And before you say that the games don't make a majority of the money, yes, that is the case, but boy, they still bring in billions of dollars from the games alone. These games continue to sell more and more with each release, all while bringing in Call of Duty level money without any microtransactions involved. I am also extremely tired of hearing the excuse of the Switch just not being powerful enough. Homies, The Witcher 3 was optimized for the Switch. You have Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom. This isn't a performance issue when it comes to the Switch holding it back. They just are not optimizing the game well. They can make sacrifices in the render distance. They can make sacrifices in whatever area to make the game perform better. They could just spend more time working on the game and optimizing. Scarlet and Violet should not have released in the state it was, and on top of that, they didn't even attempt to fix it. They released the DLC, people still bought it, myself included, hoping maybe it would run better. Nope. I'm not sure what's going on. Is it a lack of experience with 3D that these Game Freak developers have? Or is it lack of care? I'm not sure. It could be a mixture of both. I find it hard to believe that most of the team isn't passionate about these projects because Scarlet and Violet did have potential. The game just wasn't up to the standard of quality it should have been at for a AAA game. If they need to hire more people, I don't understand why not. If some of these devs just are uninspired, move on, leave the company. Take time making these games. I don't need a Pokemon game every 2 years. Whatever the issue is, it needs fixed. After Pokemon Black and White 2, which in my personal opinion is their best, it's been a downward trajectory. I have a little theory that they put in all of this effort and tried new things with Pokemon Black and White. With the story, people just weren't receptive to it at the time. So after that, they decided to just keep it cookie cutter and give the bare minimum, more and more with each release. Make the games easy, make the games appealing to the younger audience. Anyone can pick up a Pokemon game. I don't know. It just seems like after the Black and White era, with what seemed like a low point for Pokemon as a whole, they just kind of lost some of that spark after those games got hated on at the time. Then there's the Switch games, which is a cliff dive in quality. I'm sorry, but if you're defending any of the Switch titles, You're either a new player who has never experienced the greatness of traveling across 2 regions, fighting the very best, red, in Soul Silver, or you are just a mindless consumer who will eat whatever digital stink the Pokemon Company will hand you. The TCG. Right now, Pokemon cards are, without a doubt, at their peak. Some of the most incredible card arts and styles are being produced right now. There is a perfect blend of nostalgia and new generation cards in every set released, back to back. When it comes to the TCG, the Pokemon Company is, for the most part, doing everything right. In comes the scalpers and the super fans who do activities such as deciding to stock these restockers and their daily routines. People who are just doing their jobs. These weirdos are no different than the dudes who develop parasocial relationships with their favorite girl streamer and make it their life's mission to meet such a streamer in real life and just harass her. You are no different out there, you scalpers who are stalking the dudes and girls doing their job. Then you've got Pokemon out here fighting for what is literally intended to be a cards game. They don't care if they're fighting in front of children. It's insane. These grown-ass men are acting more like children than the 7 or 8-year-olds trying to get their hands on Pokemon cards. I'm embarrassed for you guys out there. Listen, I'm not saying you can't be an adult and not be allowed to collecting Pokemon cards. But if you're out here buying up all of the supplies for whatever reason it may be, absolute trash. Not only are you just not allowing kids to even have a chance of getting a single pack, if you're a scalper, you're actively causing the prices of these items to skyrocket. Most of these corporate stores like Walmart and Target are not going to be putting item limits on these things anymore because these scalpers are going and reselling their items on Walmart and Target's websites as third-party sellers, essentially allowing Walmart and such to get paid twice for the same item. If you're a corporation, why would you stop that? Why would you stop scalping? You think the Pokemon Company isn't seeing this as well? If people are buying cards at a ridiculous upcharge from scalpers, what is stopping the Pokemon Card Company from raising their prices? I've recently tried to get back into Pokemon cards, but it's impossible because you can't find anything at all. None. Nada. I'm someone who'd literally buy a pack or two once every couple of weeks or so. That's not even possible unless I want to pay nearly double for a couple of pieces of cardboard off of Facebook Marketplace. Sorry, I'm good. I can't justify being a mindless consumer. If you're someone who got into Pokemon cards as an investment, hate to break it to you, that's just a completely delusional way of thinking. While I'm sure there are a select few cards that will hold and increase in value, these cards are not going to make you the multimillionaire you think you'll become. Even looking back at cards from 10 to 20 years ago, a majority of them are not going for more than a couple of $100. It's like a gambler spending $400,000 on scratch-offs his whole life and finally wins $100K in retirement. You're almost always ending up in the negative, even in the long term, especially buying from these third-party markets. I don't know. To conclude everything today, being a Pokemon fan sucks. It requires being in constant disappointment, one way or another. The Pokemon games should have so much potential, but honestly, I'm at the point of losing complete hope. We'll see with the next generation on the Switch 2. If they deliver a product that doesn't even attempt to take advantage of the Switch 2 performance, I think it's pretty safe to say Game Freak is content with releasing the bare minimum. Which, if people still buy it, can you really blame them? Anyways, that's all I've got to rant about today. Feel free to leave a couple of those hate comments below. I love to see them. Or like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed. Probably going to talk about some weird internet history stuff next week. I don't know. We'll see. Until next time, though, see ya.